Hi everybody, and thanks for tuning in to this week's yoga class. Today we're going to be doing a yoga class for upper body strength. So this will be something that will be really helpful for you if you're working on arm balances and inversions and that sort of thing. So when you're ready, have a seat on your mat and let's get started. Sit in a comfortable seated position and roll your shoulders back, and then bring your hands to your heart center and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Then exhale fully through your mouth, just letting go of anything you're holding on to that you don't need right now. Another deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth and just notice how your shoulders melt away from your ears as you exhale. You're beginning to feel a little bit more grounded. And then last time, deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And then as you finish your exhale, close your mouth, but part your teeth. So you're relaxing your jaw. And then begin to breathe in and out through your nose, seeing if you can fill up your lungs as you inhale completely, and seeing if you can empty your lungs completely as you exhale. So there's no rush as you begin to breathe. And as you begin to breathe, you may want to use the ujjayi breath, which is where you're making this kind of constriction with your throat and creating this sound that you would hear if you took a seashell and put it to your ear. And as you begin to connect with your breath, see if you can let go of any thoughts that you're holding on to, anything that happened earlier, any to-do lists you have kind of in the back of your head. Just see if you can let those thoughts fizzle away. And as they kind of melt into the background, see if you can bring your attention to the current moment. There's nothing to do right now but sit here and breathe. And as you prepare for your practice, just take a second to set an intention. Maybe it's something specific you want to focus on. Or maybe it's just a commitment to staying in the present moment, every moment, for the duration of the practice. And once you've set your intention, quietly open up your eyes and set your hands down in front of you. Keep your back nice and long and then ripple up through your spine so your spine is nice and long. Take your gaze out in front. Then as you exhale, lift up onto your fingertips and walk your fingers forward just a little bit. Seeing if you can stay on your hips, not letting them lift up too much. And then as you exhale, see if you can melt from your heart until you feel something going on in the back of your hips. Might even want to sway side to side. And your next inhale, ripple up through your spine. Reach back behind you, press your fingers into the ground behind you, lift your hips up, reach your heart up to the sky, let your head go if that's okay for your neck, and as you exhale, gently release and come down to sit tall. From here, take your other foot out in front, and then reach your hands down in front. Ripple up through your spine, long spine, and as you exhale, rise onto your fingers and then walk yourself forward until you start to feel something going on in the back of your hip. And so some of us might be like way out here, and others of us might be just right here, and that doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you feel something going on and that you breathe through it. taking the option to sway side to side if you like. And then when you're ready, rise up. Bring your hands back behind you, press into the ground. Lift your hips, lift your chest, let your head go, if that's okay for your neck. Breathe into your whole front body and then exhale, gently release. On your next inhale, come up and over your knees. We're gonna take a wide leg child's pose. So take your knees as wide as feels comfortable for you, arms out in front. And as you exhale, melt your upper body down onto the ground. And then press into your forearms until you feel a good stretch in your armpits. You might even want to press into your left forearm very deeply and then lift your right forearm a little bit. And then do the same thing. So you're kind of like rocking side to side here, and that just helps to open up a little bit deeper if you're someone who is naturally a little bit more open in your chest and you want to take it deeper. Otherwise, just stay where you are, arms out in front, pressing evenly into both forearms. And then as you inhale, round up, come forward, and come to lay down on your back. Hands underneath your shoulders, elbows straight back behind you. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're gently going to press into your hands and just peel your upper chest off the mat just a little bit. And exhale, gently release. Deep breath in. Exhale, press and lift. Elbows straight back behind you. Doesn't really matter how high you get. Gently release. Deep breath in. Exhale. Use your back body strength to lift your chest up and try to get as long as you can, and then exhale, gently release. And on your next inhale, press into your hands, come back into regular child's pose. And then on your next inhale, rise to sit onto your shins and lift your arms up to the sky. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lift your hips up. Tuck your tailbone slightly and then send your right arm forward, left arm back, and make your arms really work as if you're having to push through peanut butter. When your arms get to the top, left arm forward, right arm back. I'm going to do one more time each side. Right arm forward, left arm back. Left arm forward, right arm back. Then interlace your fingers, press your palms up to the sky, look up. Reach your arms as high as you can, and then as you exhale, gently release. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Press your palms together if that's okay. Reach your heart forward. Keep it nice and lifted as you look up. And then as you exhale, gently release. Bring your hands down onto the ground for all fours. And as you inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone, look up. As you exhale, round your back, lower your chin to your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. On your next inhale, curl your toes, lift up for downward facing dog. It's your first one of the day, so paddle your legs out. Do whatever kind of movement you need to in order to kind of warm up your body here. And then when you're ready, find your way into stillness. But take your time getting there. There's no rush. So for downward facing dog, take a look at your hands. Make sure that your fingers are spread as wide as you possibly can and your fingertips are plugged into the mat. You're gripping into the mat like you're a rock climber trying to pull yourself up a very steep cliff. The bases of your fingers, so where your fingers attach to your palms, those areas are plugged into the mat, glued into the mat, and are not lifted at all. You are not dumping weight into the outer edges of your palms. That will cause wrist injury. Instead, the majority of your weight is distributed between the thumbs and the index fingers. Take your gaze towards your navel, let your head hang heavy, no tension in your neck, and then push your mat away so that your elbow or your armpits are very long. Bend your knees a little bit.
Take a deep breath in, push the mat away even more, and then as you exhale, see if you can invite your heels down towards the ground. If they don't get there, who cares? It's no problem. If they do, wonderful. And then on your next inhale, lift your right leg as high as you can. And then bring your knee in towards your chest, shoulders over wrists, and gently step your right foot down to the ground. Bring your left knee down, lift both arms up to the sky, and then hands to the heart and send your hips forward and lift your heart. So you're in a mini back bend here. Breathing into your left hip flexor. On your next inhale, lift your arms, send the hands down to the ground, step back for downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high, spread your left toes. Exhale, knee into chest, shoulders over wrists. Step your left foot down to the ground, right knee follows. Inhale, rise up, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart, lift your heart, press your hips forward. As you inhale, rise up. Hands come down to the ground, step back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, rise onto your toes. Push the mat away even more so you feel like you're arching your back. And then ripple up through your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you come into a plank position. Once you're in plank, lower all the way down to your belly. Arms out in front. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift right arm and left leg. Inhale, gently release so that they hover over the mat. They're not all the way down onto the ground. Deep breath in. Exhale, left arm lifts, right leg lifts. Spread the toes, spread the fingers. Gently release. Deep breath in. Exhale, lift both arms, both legs as high as you can, but get as long as you can. And gently release, hands underneath your shoulders, child's pose. Inhale, round forward, coming into plank pose. You're gonna do one push-up, so keep your elbows straight back behind you. You're only coming down to 90 degrees. And then lift up, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Push up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Push up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg, spread the toes. Exhale, knee into the chest, shoulders over wrists. Step the right foot to the front of the mat. Turn your left foot out deeply so the outer edge of your left foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Rise up, we're gonna take warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips so you feel that your hips are even, and then open up your arms. Look out over your right middle finger. Make your arms so strong that if somebody came by and pushed on your arms, they wouldn't go anywhere. On your next inhale, turn your palms up to the sky. Take goddess arms. Make your arms so strong that if somebody came by and pushed on your arms, they wouldn't go anywhere. Keeping the same position, imagine you're taking reverse warrior two. Stay long through your side body. Inhale, warrior two. Windmill your arms down, plank pose. Once you get to plank pose, we're doing one push-up, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. One push-up, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose, push-up, downward facing dog.
On your next inhale, lift your left leg high, spread the toes. Knee into chest, shoulders over wrists. Lower your left foot down to the ground and turn your right foot so that the outer edge of the right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Rise up, warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips so that your hips are even and you're not like this. I see a lot of people like this in class. So we want to be even. Open up your arms. Look out over your left middle finger. Make your arms so strong. Breathe. Turn your palms up. Take goddess arms. Make your arms so strong that if somebody tried to push your arms down, they wouldn't go anywhere. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Press evenly into both feet. On your next inhale, reverse warrior, but with goddess arms. Staying long through your side body. And then warrior two. Windmill your arms down. Plank pose. Push up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come to plank pose. Push up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Remember, you can go onto your knees at any time. Push up. Go onto your knees for the push-ups if you need to. Downward facing dog. We're just going to stay here for a sec. Go into child's at any point that you need to. The most important thing is not whether you hit every single push-up or your heels reach the ground in downward facing dog or whatever it is. The most important thing is that you listen to your body and do what you need to do without any feelings of shame or guilt or whatever. Because honestly, who cares? We all have to start somewhere. If you need a break, you take a break. It's not a big deal. On your next inhale, come down onto your forearms for dolphin pose. Try to keep your elbows in line with your shoulders or as close to in line with your shoulders as you can. Look down between your elbows and push the ground away from you. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Spread your toes, push the mat away even more. Slowly lower your right foot down to the ground, lift your left leg, spread the toes. Push the mat away even more. If you're shaking, if your back is burning, just breathe. If you feel any pain, come out of it. Notice there's a difference between pain and just discomfort. Because this is not comfortable for anybody. I'm not going to lie to you. This is pretty Ms. Okay, bring your left foot down, and then we're going to walk out to plank pose on your forearms. And do 3 deep breaths. And then gently release. Stack your hands and rest your forehead or your chin on your hands. Take a deep breath in, close your eyes. Exhale through your mouth. Come back to your intention that you made at the beginning of the practice to stay in the moment or to work on whatever it was. Just take a second to reaffirm that. And then on your next inhale, you're going to push yourself into child's pose. And round forward, curl your toes and lift up for your last downward dog of the day. Make it your best downward dog of the day. So shake your head out, push your arms into the mat, arms are long. Invite your heels down to the ground, breathe through the backs of your legs, lift your hips even higher. And then on your next inhale, rise onto your toes and see if you can walk with straight legs all the way to the front of your mat. If you need to bend your legs, that's fine, but give it a try and see what happens. Once you get to the front of your mat, slowly come to sit down. Extend your legs out in front. Bring your arms out in front. And slowly come down for Savasana. Spread your legs mat distance. Open up your palms to the sky and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Exhale with a sigh. Go. Just letting go of any tension you're feeling. And as you sink into Savasana, feel your eyes be pulled by gravity in deeper into the skull. Close your mouth, but part your teeth. Let your tongue sink down into the bottom of your mouth. And then just scan your body from your head to your toes, seeing where you can let go more. What part of your body can you make heavier? Let this pose be totally effortless as your body soaks up all the good things you just did. You're going to be here for about 5 minutes. On your next inhale, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. And then slowly make your way over to your right side. And press your left hand into the ground as you take a deep breath in. And exhale, come to sit up tall. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes, just taking a second to acknowledge your practice, acknowledge your health, your strength, and reaffirming that intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of the practice. When you're ready, go ahead and seal in your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. I'll do my best to be in touch and answer you. Give it a like if you liked it. And if you're interested in pre-ordering my book, Namaste, it's now available on Amazon, and I'll put the link right here. Thank you, guys. See you next week.